Alright YouTube, so bringing you guys a discussion video for Fallout 76 about the VATS and whether or not it's good or bad. From the technical aspect, it does seem to still have some sort of problems. First off, I've talked about this before, whenever you first initiate VATS, it's automatically at 0%, and I'm usually used to VATS and then pulling the right trigger instantly just to do a quick VATS shot. And because of that, I missed my first shot a lot because I'm still not used to the 0% thing. I don't know if that's intentional or not. And then there's times where it's 95% accuracy. I'm right up on the guy, because VATS is like distance-based pretty much in this game. So I'm right up on the guy, 95% accuracy, but I'm missing shots, and it happens quite a bit to the point that it feels like it's got to be a bug or a problem. You can miss shots in the previous Fallout games, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4. You can miss 95% accuracy shots. It can happen. But it happens often enough in this game that it feels like it might be a technical issue. I've seen a lot of people complain about that. So from the technical aspect, when it comes to VATS, yeah, it's probably bad. It seems like there's some things that need to be fixed with it. But that's not necessarily what we're here to talk about. What I've heard complained about since at least the Greenbrier event, which is when, kind of more or less the public got to play the game for the first time, is that VATS is essentially an auto-aim system, and that you could be facing one direction and shoot a guy that's to your left or your right or maybe even behind you, which people think is kind of ridiculous because it's not logical. And my thing is, this is nothing different from the previous Fallout games. What did you think VATS was beforehand? Why is it all of a sudden with Fallout 76, VATS is an auto-aim system? What the hell do you think it was with the previous Bethesda Fallout games? It's always just been an auto-aim system. You literally hit a button to automatically target somebody, and then you can target specific body parts. It literally freezes time in 3 New Vegas, slows down time in Fallout 4, so you can pick where you want to shoot them at. Like, if anything, those should be the ones you should be complaining about. At least with 76, it's a little more realistic. It's at least in real time, so you have to really pick your shots. Technical issues aside, this should actually be the best VATS because it's more realistic. Like, if you're in a combat situation, your enemy's not just going to stop, stand still, and let you decide which parts of their body you're going to shoot at. This is at least realistic. But again, the point of all that is VATS has always just been an auto-aim system. It just does not make any sense to me how that's even a complaint or something that you could say when nobody was complaining about VATS before. It's just one of those things that people latch onto with Fallout 76. They're looking for anything and everything to complain about this game. If you want to complain about the technical issues or whatever's going on with VATS, it seems like there's problems with it, that's fine. I'm in agreement with you. But to complain about auto-aim is just stupid, man. And the other complaint I mentioned is that you can be facing forward and shoot guys that are pretty much on your left and right. And people don't like that because I guess it's not realistic or something. I'm not entirely sure what the complaint is here. But what the hell do you think you could do with VATS before? You could stand in the middle of Megaton, for example, and you could hit VATS and you could target every single person around you, which if that were to play out in real time, your character would be like spinning in a circle shooting everybody. Or if you had a guy standing in front of you and behind you, you could go into VATS, target the guy in front of you, target the guy behind you, fire, hit the trigger button to fire, and you're going to shoot the guy in front of you, and in real time, you would instantly 180 in like a quarter of a second and shoot the guy behind you. Why is nobody complaining about that? That's not that realistic. Since Fallout 3, VATS has always allowed you to attack people in a 360-degree radius around you as long as they are in your line of sight. So I don't even get what the complaint is here that you could shoot somebody to your left or your right even if you're facing forward. It just doesn't make sense to me to even complain about that. And hell, we'll just throw in a bonus complaint because I just remembered it. People have actually complained that it is real time, and the fact that, VATS doesn't actually pause time or slow down time. Bethesda said that it wasn't really possible to do, even though there are other games, all multiplayer games that have like a bullet time effect. Bethesda has said that it wasn't possible, and people complained about this. But let me ask you a question. How would VATS even work if it did pause or slow down time in a multiplayer game? I don't understand. I can't comprehend it because let's say we're traveling together. We come across a group of super mutants to fight. You stand on the sideline. You don't even get engaged into the fight. You're just watching me do combat. I initiate VATS. It either pauses or slows down time for me because I'm in the middle of combat. How would that look to you on the sideline? Is it going to be slowed down? Is it going to be paused for you? Are you going to see the super mutants and me moving in real time? Like, what exactly is going to transpire if VATS even worked like that anyways? Because if for whatever reason the super mutants that I engaged with VATS are either paused or slowed down, you could take advantage of these enemies that are trapped in a time loop and just run up and attack them and they can't even engage or fight back because they're currently stuck in VATS. Does that even make sense to you? Because it sounds stupid to me. So let's say it's the same situation, but VATS only works from player to player. So for me, it's slow down or pause, but for you, it's still in real time. But again, how exactly would that look? Because on my screen, they're slow down or pause. They're either not moving or moving very, very slow. But for you, they're moving in real time. But remember, these super mutants don't even know you're there. They only know me right now. They're only trying to engage me in combat. So are they just standing there, like not attacking me? Because if they're moving in real time for you, there's no reason they shouldn't run up and attack me while I'm stuck in VATS, right? Because that's how it would look on your screen. They can run at full speed, they can attack at full speed. But on my screen, they're not doing that because they're either paused or slowed down. Again, VATS would not work like this in multiplayer. It just could not work. You could not have it slow down or pause time. The only thing that logically makes sense is real time. So for me, these three things aren't valid complaints about the game. VATS has always been auto-aim. You've always been able to shoot people to your left, right, behind you with VATS or whatever. And when it comes to multiplayer Fallout, real-time VATS is the only thing that logically makes sense. And I'm not trying to convince you that VATS in Fallout 76 is good or that you should even like it. It's definitely on the bottom of my list when it comes to Bethesda Fallout games VATS systems. It's definitely bottom. I don't know if I like the pausing time from 3 New Vegas more or the slowdown time from Fallout 4, but those two are definitely above the Fallout 76 VATS system. But my point is, these things don't seem to be valid complaints in my opinion. And I don't think the VATS system for Fallout 76 is necessarily bad. I think it just takes some getting used to. It's very different from the previous games. I mean, me personally, I figured out the VATS system pretty early on. I never really understood why people thought it was complicated. The only complaints I really have are the two technical seeming issues that I mentioned earlier. The 0% accuracy thing could be intentional. They could have it that way just so you can't spam VATS. Once you activate VATS, you got to give it like a half a second to actually find the target and get the percentage. So that could be an intentional game, feature or whatever. But the missing 95% accuracy shots pretty often, it seems like it is an actual thing that needs to be fixed. And that, obviously, I do have a problem with. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I gave you my thoughts on this topic. As I do with all my discussion videos, I pass it off to you. What do you think about the VATS in Fallout 76? Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid and my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a